Surprise, surprise, One Punch Man is ranked number one all time for having the strongest attack in all of anime. But does that mean he's unbeatable? I'm gonna name one overlooked character who might stand a real chance against Saitama on Bro Takuza. Konnichiwa, snitches. I'm B, and this is Bro Takuza. Okay, so actually I had another video planned for you guys, but I was online and I saw that CBR.com released an official list of the 20 strongest anime attacks of all time. All the usual suspects were there, and Dragon Ball took up about half the list, as you might expect. But I'll quickly run through the list before we get into it. So starting at number 20 was the alchemy technique from Full Metal Alchemist, followed by Yusuke's Spirit Gun from Yu Yu Hakusho. Then there was Kakashi's Chidori from Naruto, Naruto's Rasengan, 100 Rending Fist from Fist of the North Star, Kurosaki's Getsuga Tensho from Bleach, Maka's Kishin Hunter Power-Up from Soul Eater, Ace's Fire Fist from One Piece, Urza's Requip from Fairy Tail, Piccolo's Special Beam Cannon from the Dragon Ball series, followed by Vegeta's Final Flash from Dragon Ball, and of course Goku's Kamehameha. Then there was Kuchiki's Senban Sakura Kageyoshi from Bleach, Natsu's Fire Dragon Slayer Magic from Fairy Tail, Luffy's Fourth Gear from One Piece, All Might's Detroit Smash from My Hero Academia, which I'm not sure why United States of Smash wasn't on there, but whatever. Simon and Kamina's Giga Drill Break from Gurren Lagann, Goku's Spirit Bomb, Melioda's Full Counter from Seven Deadly Sins, and of course at number one, One Punch Man's Serious Punch, which only makes sense because, as the article at least acknowledged, he is a parody of the ridiculously overpowered anime protagonist. Now, any list is subjective, and while I largely don't have a problem with this list, there is someone who I think is missing. So, at number 19, I said that they had Yusuke Urameshi from Yu Yu Hakusho, which is my personal favorite anime of all time, which brings me to the person who I believe could stand a legitimate chance against One Punch Man. That person is Kurama. Now, before you go scrolling down to the dislike button, just hear me out. Yes, it's true that One Punch Man is physically unstoppable. In fact, the only person who could conceivably defeat Saitama is Saitama himself, which is important to my theory. So the only other edge anyone could use against him would be a psychological one, and that's where I think Kurama would have both of these bases covered, and now I'm going to tell you how. So in Yu Yu Hakusho, Elder Toguro, who's basically an immortal demon, survived a dark tournament loss to Kuwabara and returned at an underground tunnel where a sort of bridge was being built to allow creatures from the demon world to cross over and enter and overrun the human world. So the Spirit Detective Gang was the last line of defense, and Elder Toguro, who returned bigger and nastier than ever, was about to wipe them all out when Kurama hit him with what I think is one of the sickest, if not the sickest, anime attack of all time, the Sinning Tree. So Kurama planted this seed inside of Toguro, where it grew from within and latched onto his mind. And as the move is described, the tree responds to the memories of the victims, ensnaring their consciousness with hallucinations of wickedness and forces them to replay their fears as it feeds off of its victim's life force, never stopping until the host is dead. If, for some reason, the victim continues to struggle, then the tree will just generate extra tendrils in order to restrain its victim as it feeds. So if this happened, One Punch Man would essentially be fighting against an illusion. Now, of course, the problem is getting close enough to him without getting one punched into oblivion, which is half the battle itself. But if from a distance Kurama was able to shoot his seed into One Punch Man's mouth, okay, I could have phrased that a lot differently, but the fact still remains. If he was able to plant the Sinning Tree seed inside of Saitama, which he could easily do with his Rose Whip, it would effectively be over for OPM, and quite quickly. Because remember, the more he struggles to fight it, the worse it would get. So ironically, having the most powerful attack ever would actually work against One Punch Man and even kill him that much faster. Now, I'm sure there's a big giant hole waiting to be poked into this theory, so go ahead and let it out in the comments below. But maybe I'm just kind of bored with always seeing One Punch Man at the number one spot. I don't know. Probably about as bored as he is with being One Punch Man. But also, and more importantly, I just wanted Kurama to get the long overdue credit that I think he deserves for being calculated, vicious, and an all-around badass. He's criminally underrated, which is probably because we associate power with brute force and crazy explosions, where Kurama is more of a finesse guy. So hey, if he's not number one, he deserves to be summer on this list, at least ahead of Yusuke for sure. Well, that was my terrible but honest argument against One Punch Man's greatness. But speaking of One Punch Man, check out this video over here for a list of 5 anime that you should be watching if you happen to be a fan of Saitama's. And let's be honest, who isn't? I'll catch you guys next time, but until then, sayonara, suckers.